welcoming on the show one of India's most successful, actually credited with being India's most successful investor, Vijay Kedia. Vijay, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Such a privilege to have you on the Track Invest show.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you.
Now, one of your most favorite sayings is that, let me read this out, Rome wasn't built in a day, but Hiroshima and Nagasaki for sure were destroyed in a day. Tell us what the principle behind this is.
You see, actually this quote is for the newcomers in the market. So any newcomer, most of the newcomers, when they come to the market, they have this, you can say, dream of becoming crorepati overnight.
Absolutely.
So that's a very tricky thing, because they should understand that stock market they should treat stock market as a business. It is not a gambling then.
Yeah.
For gambling, you should go to Goa or to casino, to Macau, not to stock market. So it's a business. It takes a lot of time, it takes skill, it takes a lot of experience and patience to create wealth over a long-term period. So that is why I use this quote, ki Rome was not built in a day. Any business was not built in a day. Similarly, wealth in the stock market cannot be built in a day. It takes years. Now, another part is Hiroshima and Nagasaki were destroyed in a day. In order to become crorepati overnight, they are indulging into, maybe many of them indulging into trading. And here I'm talking about future trading. Which is really, future trading is injurious to your wealth. If you will see that success rate in trading is hardly 1%. So 99% people want to make money or take the pie from 1%. And in order to do that, and you know, trading has a peculiar habit. You start from 500 shares. When you make money, you increase your commitment to 1,000 shares, then 5,000 shares, then 50,000 shares. And one day, and that one day comes quite often in our market. We have seen every year, maybe once in 2 years, the time comes when stock market crashes like anything, and they have to put circuit filter that now stock market cannot go down further. Market is closed for 15-20 minutes, half an hour. That is cooling off period. Then again market opens. That one day really can spoil, can destroy your wealth you accumulated in last 5 years or 10 years or even 20 years. So for them, this is my message. Remember, Hiroshima and Nagasaki were destroyed in a day. And there is not only trading. It is same thing is applicable into, I call them bhangar caps. Out of these 6,000 shares, I always say that maybe more than 3,000, 4,000 shares are coming into the category of bhangar cap. They are traded when market is up, and there is no trace of liquidity when market is down. So people, even in this new investors, they have this habit of asking, tell me some chota share, chote price ka shares. Tell me 5 rupiya ka share, 10 rupiya ka share, 15 rupiya ka shares. So that is a bad habit, because in trading you have escape also, because that you may suppose if you get losses, you can quit the market, you can sell your positions, you can be out. But in those bhangar cap, once you have built up a long position, and when market moves down, you will, the 90% value will go away like this. Will be eroded. So that is why I use this quote. Ki remember this thing, save your money, protect your money, and don't try to become crorepati overnight. This is what it is.
So we're going to get all the formulas from you today on how to build that wealth. But Vijay, you've had a long career in the markets. You started very young. What actually drove you to start investing in the markets?
Because I started because I had nothing to do in my life. I had no money to do any business. I was not very educated also. So that was out of compulsion, you can say. And that time when I started, trading was the only option, because trading did not need any capital, any knowledge. So it was just like throwing the dart. So I started in that fashion only. I was throwing the dart in the market. So, but one thing is there, when you have nothing and you come to the market, then your intuition helps you. Because your decision is not backed by your money. So whatever decision you are taking when you have nothing, it comes from your heart, maybe. So something like this happened with me. So,
and there's no fear perhaps at that
because
point.
you have nothing to lose. As it is, you have nothing to lose. Since you are not having anything to lose, so what can you lose?
So, you know, when was that point for you when you realize that, okay, you know what, I'm actually good at this, and maybe I should build on this as a proper business plan rather than just as a short-term kind of hobby?
No, actually it was very serious business for me. The trading was very serious business for me because it was bread and butter for me. It was my livelihood also.
Absolutely.
But finally I realized that I'm making money in the market. But the example which I gave you, actually it is applicable to me also. I started with say 100 shares, then went up to 1 lakh shares, went up to 4 lakh shares to make quick money, and I lost all the money. So this must have happened many times in my life. So I remember I read in my in the school there was a story about Muhammad Ghori that he attacked India 16 times or something.
My God.
So finally he won. Okay, whatever. So that story was always playing in my mind. कि 16 बार करने के बाद भी उसने हिम्मत नहीं आ रहा, तो चाहे वो नेगेटिव वे में हो इंडिया के लिए, तो you learn, you know. So I kept on trying to build my capital, trying to be successful into trading, but it did not happen. So I wasted a lot of years in understanding this thing, that this trading thing cannot make me rich. So I switched over going forward. After 10 or 12 years of my struggling to make money out of trading, actually I realized that maybe the investment is the a platform to build capital, to create wealth. So I switched over to investing, but you can say my greed, or you can say my habit of trading, I couldn't overcome completely.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask you next.
Yeah.
That greed, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing?
So Michael Douglas told us decades back that greed is good. Okay.
He did.
Yeah, so I have also over the years I've realized that greed is of course good. Greed is very good.
It drives you a little bit, doesn't it?
It drives you because without greed nothing can happen. But there are two kinds of greed.
Okay.
It's like cholesterol, good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. Same way I think greed is good also, greed is bad also. As long as you are treating the greed as a tool, it is a good thing. If it's become a character, become a habit, then it is bad. I will give you one example. Like for example, you buy a shares at 100 rupees. Keeping a 5 years perspective, okay, in 5 years this 100 rupees stock should become 300 or 400 or whatever. You have something in your mind, going by the fundamentals which you have got to know. And maybe after 1 year, the stock becomes 200 rupees. So that time you think, since you had intention to hold the shares for next 5 years. But maybe the greed comes to your mind, oh my God, my 100 has become 200. In spite of 2 years or 3 years, it has become 200 in 6 months or maybe in 1 year. You sell your shares. So that is a bad greed in my sense. Because there you should hold your shares. There you should not sell your shares.
Okay.
And the bad greed is what? Like suppose you bought the same shares at 100 rupees with some perception, with some knowledge, with some information or some of your idea. But ultimately that idea is not working out. Or maybe things have changed since you bought the shares. Some fundamental changes have taken place into the company, and the stock prices come down from 100 rupees to say 75 rupees. But that time you are not selling the shares because you are losing 25 rupees.
Right.
So that greed keeps you hold on to the shares in spite of your own perception says that now it is not worth holding. So that greed is bad into the market. So this is what my definition of greed.
Understood. A lot of youngsters also have this complaint these days that they say, you always talk about patience, but they feel that legendary investors like yourself manage to strike it big really quickly, and they say maybe they were lucky, they had all these opportunities in the market. Is that a misguided perception? Tell them the real story, how you had to kind of make your success as well.
No, I will say that luck certainly plays a role. Certainly plays a bigger role. That is why in one of my speech in IIM Bangalore, I had once said that do good karma, because that will certainly reward you. Because stock market is a game of mind. Okay, at one moment you feel that, okay, I have to hold these shares in spite of profit. Second moment you can think that, okay, now I don't want to hold market. It's only greed and fear, as we usually use this word, greed and fear in the market. So I think luck certainly plays because it dominates your mind. So if you are I personally feel if you are a good person, so obviously you will have positive thoughts, you will have good doings in life. I don't know how to describe in detail, but this is what I feel. So coming to this, luck certainly plays a role because it's a fraction of the moment can change your life in decision. When you take your decision, you need just a fraction of the moment. So that is why luck is very important. And but whatever little bit successful I am today, that is for sure that I didn't get it cheap. I paid a lot of price for it. I spent a lot of my life, for this to understand this mechanism or nitty-gritty of stock market. And still we are learning every day. We are learning something new. So it's not quite an easy process. But you keep on doing it if you have passion. This is for sure. If you are really passionate about something, then your luck helps you. Then God helps you or everything.
That's what,
remember वो शाहरुख खान डायलॉग बोलता है कि अगर किसी को भी अपने पूरे दिलो जान से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात तुम्हें उसको मिलाने में मदद करती है. So it is very much applicable into stock market. If you love from your heart, then वो कायनात will help you.
Bollywood fan there, Mr. Kedia.
Yes.
The other very big element is risk, right? And you mentioned how you need to have courage also to really put your money and put all your might into the stock markets. Risk reward ratio kitna hona chahiye? How do you judge it? How big a chance should you take on the stock market?
You see, stock market is a risky business. And it's a very risky business, if you ask me. But what is the definition of risk? Flying a plane is also risky.
Right.
Driving a car is also risky.
Yeah.
Even getting married is also a risk. Okay. So everything in life is risk.
Yeah.
You should know how to manage your risk.
Sure.
That is important. If risk-reward ratio in stock market is very high,
okay,
so you should know how to mitigate your risk, how to control your risk. So if you can control that risk, then it is not a risky business.
Right.
Because reward is also huge.
Right.
So that is why courage is very important in the market.
Okay.
And there are two kinds of risk. Risk in the sense, like for example, if you are putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
As it is, the speed of stock market is so high. It's something like you are driving a Bugatti. Okay. So, and if you are driving a Bugatti without a seat belt, then you are taking risk on risk.
Got it.
Because as the speed of that business is so high, then you should you should have some backup plan, right? So that is very important in stock market. If you have a backup plan, if you control your risk, and if you don't get greedy, unnecessarily greedy, and bad greed which I am talking, bad cholesterol greedy, if you don't become, then it is manageable.
Yeah.
And of course it is manageable.
Yeah. So do you think that one needs to take big risks in order to get that big reward though? Would you say that? Would you say you need to have that conviction and just go all in? I mean, how does one know they're not being stupid?
No, there are two things I will tell you. I will give you answer. Risk or patience. If you combine your patience with the risk, maybe then your risk to some extent could be controlled.
Right.
Like first of all, the risk starts from your thought.
Okay.
If you are not in hurry to make money, then you are mitigating your risk. Remember this thing.
Okay.
You don't want to become crorepati overnight.
So first step.
That is the first step.
Yeah.
So control your mind. It's a business.
Yeah.
And I have to treat it as a business.
Yeah.
In business, you cannot become crorepati in 1 year or 2 years. It takes time.
Yeah.
So you are controlling your risk because the steps you are going to take or the investing decision which you are going to take will be controlled decisions.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So that is one part of this risk.
Sure.
In spite of risk is what? Like suppose there are two ways of risk you can take. Like suppose you buy you have 100 rupees. You invest 100 rupees in one stock and taking a risk that the moment it becomes 200, I will sell.
Yeah.
In spite of that, you can do this way also, that you, instead of putting 100 rupees, which you have to invest in the market, put 20 rupees in one stock if you have lot of, if you are convinced.
Yeah, yeah.
And don't sell it when it becomes 20 rupees.
Okay.
Wait for long term.
Okay.
Keep your horizon little longer. That will also mitigate your risk.
Okay.
That will also give you a controlled, disciplined risk you are taking in the market.
Okay. You know, there are a couple of investments or investment ideas which you're famous for, right? Like, tell us those stories, those early names that really kind of tilted the balance for you.
First, actually, hit was, you can say, Aegis Logistics, actually. So, first time when I bought Aegis Logistics, the market cap of that company was somewhere around, I think, 20 crore. And I bought 5% of this. started from 20 crore and I bought till 60 crore of market cap.
Got it.
So, but shares did not move at all. Okay, and it was lying like that. And I approached many of my friends from the market and I tried to sell the story to everybody. Okay, look at this company. I have found out it's a very good company, good management, making profit every quarterly. Profit is increasing, paying good dividend. Dividend yield was also 4-5% or something. So, but nobody was convinced. They liked, oh, good idea, but nobody actually bought the shares. So I was really disappointed because that 5%, 8 lakh shares I remember I had bought that time. So maybe I had put 3 crores of rupees. So that was a big sum.
Oh my God, yeah.
So I thought maybe now I have gone. So, but actually maybe, but after 1 year, 1.5 year, people realized the underlying your story in that company. And although I sold my shares at around 500 rupees, between 400 to 500 rupees. So that was the market cap of 800 crore that time. But today, but today market cap is more than 5,000 crore.
That's insane. That's insane.
So this is what you should learn in the market, that you have faith on yourself. If you have identified something and if you think that things are going to work, don't bother whether market is responding or not, because sooner or later market will respond. When market will respond, then market will reward you handsomely. So for that you need to have courage to buy 5% of the company. Not same way, just giving you an example. You need to have knowledge little bit to identify a company, and you need to have patience to hold that stock did not move at all for 1.5 year, and all big wigs are actually not discouraging you. I remember I met one of my friend who was dealing with this company, dealing directly, business dealing he had with this company. He told me, my God, this is nothing. This is like a dabba and dakkan. This is what he told. I remember his word because they are into logistics and all. They tell you, dabba dakkan hai, wo kya hai company? So I thought, my God, now to my career is over in stock market. But finally, that was a really money spinner for me.